The Master's Mysteries. Tales of Magical Mastery. Episode 24. Liao Fengyi severed the weird arm of the puppeteer with a single stroke, thinking there was nothing special about the demonic arm, but he was stunned by the scene that followed. "Kid, let me show you." The old man's arm was writhing, and meat sprouted from it, entangling and eventually forming another demonic arm. "This arm of mine is a gift from the earth demon. It's not something you mortals can harm." The puppeteer was very proud of his demonic arm. In a blink, the arm recovered, and he sneered at Liao Fengyi as if he was looking at a dead man. "Kid, die." Suddenly, he roared, and the demonic arm seemed to gather a tremendous amount of energy, its entire arm swelling up and reaching out towards Liao Fengyi. Facing the wind, the demonic arm became gigantic, like a python attacking Liao Fengyi. Liao Fengyi, not understanding the situation, didn't dare to get close and could only retreat as much as he could. The demonic arm plunged into the stone pavement with a loud bang. "Follow me." "I know." "You? No." This treasure was sought by many when the Taoist temple fell into decay, but no one could find it. They all thought that no one could find it after the temple owner's death, but they didn't know that the temple owner had told old Dao about the treasure's location. Moreover, the surging demonic arm, though still in the form of a giant hand, inexplicably grew a large mouth with sharp fangs in the palm, resembling a demonic beast from hell. In just a blink of an eye, the monstrous mouth on the python-like demonic arm opened up to 2 square feet, again lunging at Liao Fengyi with the wind. At this moment, the short knife was useless against the demonic arm. As the giant claw was coming at him, Liao Fengyi quickly picked up a stone shattered by the demonic arm. He tossed the watermelon-sized rock at the giant mouth in the center of the demonic arm, but the mouth's crisscrossed fangs instantly shattered the rock. If it had bitten a person, there would be no life left. However, this move did buy Liao Fengyi a bit of a chance to escape. The giant hand shook off the shattered stones and attacked again, with Liao Fengyi mustering all his strength to leap out of the attack area. Another loud bang and another hole appeared on the ground. Before Liao Fengyi could regain his footing, the giant mouth lunged at him again. The fight was going badly. The demonic arm was rolling like a wild python. Liao Fengyi was forced to dodge and jump, sweating profusely and seemingly about to lose. "Right. There's no treasure hidden here, is there? Master, are you talking about here?" Old Dao and Xiasha ran to the rear hall of the Taoist temple. Here, the sitting deity, Laozi, was worshipped. Xiasha didn't understand why old Dao had brought him here in search of treasures. "You don't understand, just watch me. Lord Laozi, lend me your treasure sword to exorcise demons." Old Dao ignored Xiasha, ran into the hall, and climbed onto Laozi's statue. He looked at the clay sword and then bowed to Laozi a few times. After finishing his bows, old Dao kicked the clay sword in Laozi's hand. Xiasha then saw that beneath the clay, a sharp treasure sword was revealed. "I thought it was just a legend. I didn't expect it to be real." Before long, old Dao had kicked off the clay layer, revealing a jet-black treasure sword. According to legend, it was left by Zhang Daoling in the early years, and it was the treasure of the Tai Nu Taoist temple. Meanwhile, Liao Fengyi was not having a good time. The demonic arm attacked faster and fiercer. As a mortal, he couldn't withstand the continuous fight all night. Because of his unstable footing while dodging, he tripped and fell. "Kid, the divine weapon is here." Just as the demonic arm was about to strike again, old Dao and Xiasha rushed back just in time. Seeing Liao Fengyi's peril, they shouted, "Got it! With the treasure my master bestowed upon me, we can't let them go. I must avenge him for my master's sake." Old Dao's voice fell off abruptly as he tossed the treasured sword in his hand towards Liao Fengyi. Before Liao Fengyi could fully comprehend what was going on, a cold flash of light burst before his eyes. Old Dao had thrown a pitch-black ancient sword at him. Regardless of whether it was a treasure or not, it was certainly better than being unarmed. Liao Fengyi stretched out his hand to grasp the sword. The moment he touched it, he shivered, realizing that this was indeed a treasure. Now armed with a suitable weapon, Liao Fengyi became more determined. With a sword technique in his left hand, he swung out with the treasured sword in his right. The force of this attack even shocked Liao Fengyi himself. The demonic arm let out a strange shriek as all 5 of its fingers were severed. "Bastard! Old fool, your end is near." The puppet master simultaneously cried out in pain. It seemed he couldn't believe that his powerful demonic arm could be severed. However, this gave Liao Fengyi the confidence he needed. "I'll turn you into my puppet too." The puppet master, of course, wouldn't give up so easily. He roared angrily and launched another attack. At this moment, the 5 severed fingers had regrown and once again viciously lunged at Liao Fengyi. Each time the demonic arm was injured, it seemed to grow larger. At this moment, it opened its fingers to a width of over 2 meters. Its gaping maw could swallow Liao Fengyi whole. It depends on whether you have the chance. Despite the opponent's intimidating presence, the chill continuously radiating from the sword in his hand filled Liao Fengyi with confidence. With a flick of the sword, he charged forward. The sword was easy to handle, and Liao Fengyi was agile. Streaks of cold light flashed, and wherever they passed, pools of black liquid splashed everywhere. Like a fierce tiger descending a mountain, Liao Fengyi cut off the demonic arm and quickly approached the puppet master. Another flash of cold light, and the puppet master's face contorted in an instant. It's no wonder, as Liao Fengyi had realized that the demonic arm was not originally part of the old man's body. At this moment, he had chopped off the demonic arm at its root. "Bastard! Bastard! This was given to me by the earth demon." With the demonic arm separated from the body, it instantly turned into charcoal. The old puppet master, like a deflated ball, collapsed onto the ground. "Good job, kid. Old man, your evil deeds have caught up with you. Your end is near." This old man had killed countless people over the years, including old Dao's master and many of his fellow disciples. Now, everyone surrounded him. "No, it's not possible. I have the demonic arm. It will grant me eternal life." But the puppet master seemed to pay no attention to the murderous gaze of the 3 men before him. Instead, he kept mumbling about his lost to demonic arm. As Liao Fengyi and the others approached, they found it strange. On closer inspection, all 3 of them were taken aback. "It will grant me eternal life. Eternal life." The old man appeared to be in his 70s or 80s, but in a flash, he seemed to age even more, his skin full of wrinkles, a stark contrast from his earlier vitality. Watching the old man, who seemed over 100 years old, slowly descend into madness, muttering continuously, Liao Fengyi and the others couldn't help but frown. "The demon arm bestowed by the cult leader grants me eternal life. It will make me immortal." Turns out, this bizarre demon arm was actually a gift from the leader of the demonic Bai Xian cult. Liao Fengyi gradually understood from his incoherent speech that this old man was once a genius in occult arts, mastering the evil methods of controlling and reincarnating corpses. He calculated that he only had 3 years left to live, which caused him great agony. Later, he heard about a sage in Mount Funiu who could alter one's fate, and went to seek him. "I'm willing to pay any price. I seek guidance from the sage to save me." After several attempts, he finally met the sage. He told the sage about his desire to live beyond his predestined lifespan, and was willing to sacrifice his fortune. In fact, he was nearly 100 years old by then, and there was really no need for him to fear death so much. "All right, I agree." He initially hoped for a method to prolong his life, even if just by a few more years, but he didn't expect that the sage would agree to fulfill his extravagant request so readily. "I can make you continue living. It seemed that the matter of breaking the limits of life and death was a trivial matter to him, as long as you accept this demon arm. Then, the sage presented a horrifying arm, saying that he had to attach it to his own body. It will grant you eternal life. The sage said this arm was a gift from the demon lord to those destined in this world. There were only 5 such parts in the world, and only those chosen by the demon lord were qualified to possess them. Despite its terrifying appearance, all black and muscular, the ability to grant the person who accepts it eternal life was too tempting for him. In that small temple, the sage amputated his original arm, and the demon arm seemed to grow roots the moment it neared his body and attached itself firmly to his shoulder. The sage did not deceive him. This arm, besides its ugliness, was almost the same as his own. It was easy to control, and the moment he attached it, he felt a surge of power, as if he had become decades younger. The feeling excited him to the point of nearly fainting. "How does it feel?" Just as he was overjoyed, the voice of the sage sounded from behind. That's when he noticed 5 people standing behind him. "Welcome to the group. We are a whole. Fulfill the wish of the demon, and you will attain eternal life." He could see that the 4 people next to the sage had also attached parts of the demon's body to theirs. Some had arms, some had legs, but he couldn't figure out what the man in black had attached. "I am willing." Facing the olive branch thrown by the sage, how could he not accept? Immortality is something many have sought since ancient times, and now it was becoming a reality. It seems that no one can go against the will of heaven. Ever since that day I accepted the demon arm. From then on, this old man became one of the 5 protectors of the Bai Qian cult. Using his evil arts, he harmed countless lives. But did he really break his predestined lifespan and achieve immortality? Today, exactly 3 years. Is it that he could no longer live after the demon arm was cut off, or has his time truly come? Everything is fated, isn't it? No one can answer this question. In any case, this wicked old man, who caused numerous deaths in his lifelong pursuit of immortality, finally met his end when his time came.